So you're angry at Nike for telling you to do less?
100%. I think it's a horrendous method because I can do less by myself. I don't need Nike, the running people, to be like reinforcing those bad ideas in my head. I don't want that. I want them to say, no, push yourself, strive for more. Why are they telling...
Well, maybe they're just putting a spin out there because Nike has literally always been like the yes man behind motivation. They've always been like, yes, you can do it.
They got hype videos.
Yeah, they've always been the yes man. So maybe they're just like, fuck no, man. Let's give it a go. Because I think there's going to be a lot of people who come out of COVID. They've not exercised. They're just down in the dumps mentally and physically. And Nike's basically saying, oh, it's all right. You know, they're there. It's like the victim sort of play. I think it's fucking bullshit. And I think it's not healthy to do because, as you said, people are ace at procrastination by themselves. They do not need you as a third party to be encouraging that sort of stuff. They need you as a third party to be the yes man, the hype man.
Do we think that could work? That method of where you run, it'd be a lot slower a progress. No,
I don't think it ever works.
Like getting to the point where you're running enough, you feel good in stopping. Like, do you think that
I completely disagree with
actual style could work? I don't know. I'm trying to think because I feel like it could work, but it would be a lot longer to get to a certain. If you're trying to get to a point, you could build fitness. But
I completely disagree with you, Dylan. I think it depends on self-discipline, and it was something that I told you when you started to run that you don't need to do that much. You need to do other things to build up your fitness to improve your running. But
those other things are pushing my body though.
But
still.
Like I've figured out, you're good enough at procrastinating yourself. You don't need me to tell you. You don't need to do as much as the common methodology
you could have said. Jesus, just don't do anything. Oh god.
Yeah, that's what I've realized. So it didn't work.
My mentality behind this, right, is if you only go to where you feel comfortable, that's just a plateau.
It's a discipline thing, though.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily. For example, if you're running a 10K. And every time you hit 5K, you start having shin splints in your left shin. That, for some people, will be the indication, okay, it's enough for the run. And they will stop there. Like, they won't reach the 10K. And that shin splint, that could be because of stretching, flexibility, and stuff like that. But they may not know that. And if Nike's sitting here saying, oh, just stop when you're feeling good, they may not know to stretch and like how to fix that problem. So they only will ever run a 5K because that's what they've been sort of told and encouraged to do. And so they just hit a plateau. Because
I see what you're saying. But in a lot of people's cases, there's also nothing wrong with that. If they keep doing 5Ks, if they're doing that 2-3 times a week, instead of trying to do a 15K run and then not doing it for another 2 months because they're out injured, like that's a good thing. If they can do that 5 times a week, then you're better than probably like 99% of people just by running 5Ks twice a week.
But we're also putting this into the context of marathon training.
Okay,
and you're...
anyway.
And like, if you are only ever running a 5K and you're never fluctuating anything because you always stop when you're feeling good or like just at the brink of feeling bad, well, you're only ever going to be efficient at running a 5K. Sure, you might run a marathon, but you're going to feel like absolute shit. Your body's going to be torn to shreds and your body won't know how to deal with the pressures of running a 42K because it's only ever been good at running a 5K. What I'm saying is like, when you feel
the person that's probably doing that as well is only aiming to do a marathon just to reach that landmark or that milestone. Yeah. It's not like they're going for a time.
Yeah.
Like, I agree and I disagree.
They're like, I'm happy with a 7-hour marathon sort of thing.
I just want to get it done for doing a marathon's sake.
Yeah, if you're looking at it like that, as like, I'm just happy to tick the box, well then yes, you just running a 5K over and over and over again would get you to the box. But I don't think it's healthy per se, like, because all you're doing is just constantly reinforcing this mental idea that I can just quit whenever I feel good. Like, life doesn't feel good. Life feels like fucking shit, and you get beaten down by all the hard stuff, so you got to, like, train yourself to push through it. That's my take on this, and I don't think them putting that up as a fitness company, as a big fitness company, is really a good thing.
It's interesting.
What do you think?
It's interesting. I tend to lean more towards what Dylan thinks in terms of if you're stopping whenever you feel good, you're not learning to live in discomfort, which is one of the main things. Where you say, I also agree with where you're like the discipline thing. If you know you can go further and you've proven to yourself you can do that, and you're stopping early. That's a different thing than what this is saying. This is trying to motivate people to start running and keep running.
I think there's a big issue when like a lot of it comes on social media, and a lot of the, especially with gym, a lot of the gym mentality, it's a big bro mentality. It's like you got 3 more lifts in you sort of thing, and you're just going. And the point of lifting weights to grow muscle is to tear your muscles, and then it recovers and it repairs bigger. But there's a downside to doing too much of that, and then you're getting muscle strains and injuries. So like I think, while you want to be pushing yourself, it's a controlled pushing, and it's like, all right, we're going to go 5% over the line.
Yeah.
Like even Critter talked about, like the number of lifts he did that actually was at his max rep were only ever in comp. He never trained doing his 180 kilo bench press. Yeah. He said he did do it a couple of times, but
no, but
it's
he's
also
not
a couple of times. He's not
actively doing it like I'm going to do it once a month.
Yeah, thrashing yourself was not the strategy.
And I'm not saying thrash yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that pushing yourself, like
to a bit of discomfort at least.
If you have said to yourself, okay, I want to train and get fit in the running aspect of sport. Well, okay, run the 5K, and then if you're running the 5K and you're like, oh, I feel really good. I'm happy they've run a 5K. I'm going to turn around and go home. But you could also be like, oh, fuck, I've got another hour worth of spare time. Why don't I just go like 6K? I'll feel even better. It's going to hurt a little bit more. But that's what I'm talking about. It's like that little push.
Yeah.